Hello. Aegis agents don't like spy jokes. Found out the hard way.
We're on the cutting edge of technology here. It's an exciting place to be. There are so many different groups across the settled systems, it's hard to keep up with all the work they're doing. We didn't get where we are by sitting on our laurels. Our laurels, in fact, became uninhabitable a long time ago. Helps to remember that.
Back in the lab. Quiet, safe, secure. Just how I like it. I'll take test tubes over laser guns any day of the week, thank you very much. It's home. It doesn't matter how long I've been away, that will never change. Now, this lab will take some getting used to. Sometimes I go looking for the bathroom and end up in the storage closet. The short answer is xenobiology, but I get that that's a pretty broad category. My specialty is alien flora, but as a lead, I managed pretty much every department on the station. Maybe now that I'm here, I'll go back to my roots, so to speak. Yeah, it's nice being in a lab again, and the facilities here at MAST are the best in the galaxy. The only thing I don't have is my research slate. The thought of having to start over from scratch, well, I feel like Sisyphus pushing his boulder up the hill. Xenobiological stuff on the flora we grew in the facility. We made regular jumps to MAST, so thankfully I don't need all of it, just my most recent notes. Have you ever lost a document because you forgot to save? It takes twice the mental energy to rewrite it. You remember the basic idea, but there's no inspiration behind it. You're trying to pick up a memory that you told yourself was safe to forget. Oh, great. I'll give you the coordinates to the station. It orbits Voss, in the Alpha Centauri system, so it won't be too far of a jump. Just be careful. I don't know if those zealots are still there. If they are, definitely do not engage. Another time, then.
Howdy.
Hey.
Pardon.
I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to discuss the details of my division's work. The security of the United Colonies is every citizen's responsibility, but we try and do the bulk of the work. We're the intelligence arm of the United Colonies. Think of it this way. UC Security responds to threats. It's Aegis's job to anticipate and prevent them. No. My parents would never have been so presumptuous. Every agent who joins Aegis gets to choose a pseudonym, pending approval, of course. I chose this for myself when I signed on. I have, of course, since learned that I am not nearly as smart as I thought I was as a younger man. I suppose none of us are. I'm the acting head of Aegis, the intelligence division here in MAST. I oversee all our active projects and agents in the field, and I'm afraid that's about as much detail as I can give you. All you really need to know is that we're here to serve and we're the good guys. Our main priority is the safety and security of the citizens and assets of the United Colonies, wherever they may be. We keep an eye on, well, everything. That's a level of detail I can't get into. Don't worry. We've got plenty of good people working hard. That is a word that has been used, both for good and ill, to describe us at times. You get used to it after a while, and it makes the occasions where you can all the more meaningful. They've got you doing grunt work, Captain. Hardly the reward I'd expect for a member of the Vanguard. Admirable. I bet qualities like that are precisely why you've moved so quickly up the ranks. Oh, it wasn't a compliment, just an observation. In any case, let me fill you in. We have a dead drop that we think has been compromised. So I'd like someone from UC Security to handle the pickup instead. Take the package back to Sergeant Yumi and he'll check it in as evidence before it gets routed back to Aegis. Well, I told the sergeant that anyone hired for this job should get my stamp of approval first. Nothing personal. It's just this sort of work isn't part of your normal detail. We think non-UC affiliated groups have their eye on it, and are using it to identify field agents. Normally, we just burn the location, but we didn't get this intel until after the drop. So we're going to need non-Aegis personnel to do the pickup to cover our tracks. Take the NAT to the spaceport. There should be a Galbank ATM right next to the station. The package is taped under one of the benches. Grab it and deliver it to Sergeant Yumi and the job's done. Just the usual reports from agents in the field on persons of interest. Right now, the information isn't as important as who we're tracking. Good luck with the mission.
Excuse me? Not enough data. I can't file a report just based on this.
Aegis needs what? Oh boy, that was approved?
Okay. Hello. Defense Research has about a dozen active contracts right now. We'll see which ones pan out.
It is surprising how many people need to be reminded to go in for regular medical checkups, even when they don't have to pay for them. If you bump into the President, can you remind her that I'm still waiting for approval on the dispensary funding? Oh, I'm kidding. Don't actually do that. It is my pleasure to attempt to steer this lumbering bureaucracy towards doing something useful for its citizens, keeping them healthy. My background's in medicine, but I like to think I've graduated from helping one patient at a time to, well, all of them at once. I really do. No group has done more for humanity than the United Colonies, and it is gratifying to be a part of that. Keeping our citizens in good health is vital to our continued success. Have a great day.
Ensuring the security of the United Colonies is a full-time job. Excuse me. The United Colonies only succeed because of brave men and women like yourself. Keep up the good work, citizen. I'm afraid, as always, we're fully committed to the ongoing success of the United Colonies. We're doing all we can. If you have business with my office, you'll need to make an appointment.
The United Colonies will not be overrun or undermined while I serve. You can count on that. Unless you have official business with the government, this is not the place for you to loiter. Am I clear? Diplomacy fails every time. And when it does, the Marines mop up the mess.
The safety of the citizens of New Atlantis is my only consideration. I recognize that some may find our security protocols unreasonable. I am unfazed by their concerns. You know what separates the UC from the rest of the universe? Law and order makes all the difference.
Civil discourse is the best way to advance human society. I'm just here in case it doesn't work. A necessary precaution. The United Colonies cannot exist without a strong military to keep the peace. That's just the way things are. Perhaps some... I know there are those in the Setter systems who see us as warmongers. I also know I'm never going to change their minds, so I don't lose sleep over it.
I served my time in the fleet, but were I a younger man, I'd be back out there now. We can't ever forget the sacrifices made for the United Colonies. We owe such a great debt to so many. The UC's fleet must be the strongest out there, now and always. It's never easy, you know. Making decisions that could end the lives of soldiers pledged to your cause.
Yes? What? Yes?
One day, I'm gonna leave New Atlantis for good. I wonder if I'll miss New Atlantis when Tony and I leave. No, probably not. Well, that depends. Are you a foodie or a shopper? I guess I won't ask. But there is a place called The Well that might be more your style. I don't go down there myself. It can be pretty dangerous. Well, that depends. You should check out the commercial district. There's some cool shops there. And if you want a whole new look, there's even an enhance. Well, if that's the case, you have a lot of options here in New Atlantis. Dawn's Roost is probably the fanciest. They have great steaks there. But I'll be honest, I'm more of a chunks girl, and my boyfriend and I can't get enough of Terra Brew. Oh, hi there. I'm doing great. How about you? We've all been there, I think. Maybe you just need to find a goal to strive towards. I've been trying to save up enough money so that I can go explore the settled systems with my boyfriend, Tony. I think we're finally getting close. Tony and I want to see what else is out there. I love my job, but there has to be more to life than just being a janitor in New Atlantis. What about you? Have you gone on any adventures? have no idea what that means, but that sounds really important. I'll keep my eyes peeled for any artifacts, okay? Really? Well, I guess you're right. I'm feeling a bit run down. I really love my job, but it's hard work and long hours. I could definitely use a Terracino from Terra Brew right now. Really? That's so sweet. I really appreciate it. Oh, thank you so much. Soon I'll be coursing with bountiful energy. I'll be the most enthusiastic janitor in New Atlantis. Here, take this. I found it while I was cleaning. I figured you might find a use for it. Thanks again. I really appreciate it. Sometimes I wonder if me and my boyfriend spend too much money on Terra Brew. But somebody's gotta drink it, right? Not too bad. Found a box of pens the other day. You'd be amazed at what people leave lying around. I cleaned up a kid's vomit today. 4th time this week. Well, you know, it's one of those days where all I can think about is food. Wonder if my boyfriend will take me to Chunks later. I can't complain. My boss told me yesterday that I'm one of the best janitors she's ever hired. Feels great to be appreciated. Take care.
I've flown across most of the settled systems in all manners of spacecraft, and yet I still get sick on the gnat.
Give me your honest opinion.
Ah, I've always liked that statue. It's beautiful, isn't it? I wonder what the artist was trying to represent.
How's the investigation going? Nicely done. It's really hard to find good help these days. That being said, my luck seems to be turning around. We've gotten a lot of new personnel as of late, not just you. Who knew all I had to do was put up a sign? As am I. And the best part is, since you're all part-timers, there's no paperwork. Anyway, here's your payment. And if I have any more work for you, I'll let you know. Ah, if it isn't my favorite part-time security officer. It's a lot of work, as always. People like to say, New Atlantis is the safest city in the settled systems. How hard could your job be? Well, safety doesn't happen by accident. It takes a lot of work and a lot of people. I've got nothing at the moment, but come back later, and I might have something for you. See you later.
Contrary to what you might have heard, UC security personnel are good people. And Sergeant Yumi just happens to be an old friend.
Hi there.
My colleague has an amazing relic in his possession. A spoon recovered from Earth. Ah, I'm so envious. Ah, wonderful. I knew George would make the exchange. He could never resist foodware from Earth. You've done me a great service today, friend. I'll be sure to never take this gem for granted ever again. Thank you for bringing it back to me.
Ta-ta!
I'm sorry, I really can't afford to be distracted. I need to get to the bottom of this. Yes, concerned is an understatement. I work for the scientific division of MAST. I've been studying this tree for quite some time, and it appears to be exhibiting some worrying signs. Are you familiar with this particular specimen? Do you understand its importance?
I've passed by this particular tree many times, and honestly, I never gave it a second thought. Does it hold some sort of special significance?
Finally, somebody understands. Unless, wait, you're not mocking me, right? People. Look, I have a lot of work to do here. If you're just going to gawk, I'd ask that you move on. If you can actually assist me, however, I would appreciate it. I don't normally solicit help from random passersby, but it seems an exception is necessary. Would you be willing to retrieve some additional data for me? Well, thank you. That's unexpected. There's a series of biosensors I've placed in various locations around New Atlantis, all calibrated to gather pertinent information. They've been running for long enough that I think it's time to collect and analyze their findings. If you would bring them to me, that would save time.
It's amazing to think that this tree predates New Atlantis. Can you imagine all the changes it's seen?
If it isn't my favorite almost Atlantis.
Been up there, huh?
Shayla.
All of our signature dishes are unique to the Roost. You won't find anything like them anywhere else. I do hope you are enjoying your time in New Atlantis. The Dawn's Roost represents the highest quality, from the ingredients to the decor. No expense is spared. Anyone who has sampled our offerings will assure you it is all worth it. My pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your day.
I need to cut back on the booze. Not 20 anymore.
Bleh. I was making a critique of the coffee here. Suffice to say, it wasn't a positive review. I just don't understand why such a first-class restaurant can be satisfied with serving second-rate coffee. Of course, it could just be my palate. It's quite refined, which is both a blessing and curse. All the towers offer breathtaking views, for a price. It isn't the name on the building that matters, but how many floors are beneath you. But if you're looking for a living space, you want to speak with Miss Sanguini at the Realtor's office. She's the authority on the subject. I know you didn't just say Terra Brew. Surely my ears must be deceiving me, because to even imply that I would put that liquid garbage into my body is an insult I cannot tolerate. It is, as the saying goes, to die for, and I mean that quite literally. I think the most commonly requested meal for those on their deathbeds is a Jemison Wellington. Funny you should ask. I recently dined with a friend of mine with ties to the Freestar Collective, and he claims the best cup of joe he's ever had was in Aquila City. Yes, although I doubted him at first, but then he showed me the proof. In his hand was a single coffee bean, fermented in the digestive tract of an alien beast. It's not an entirely new idea. In the old world, growers used elephants. They believed the stomachs of these ancient beasts would ferment the bean and draw out its true flavor. It seems that would be the case. Following this discovery, I hired a man to feed coffee beans to predators throughout the settled systems. But it seems after consuming the beans, the beast decided to make a meal of him. So I need someone to find this beast and remove my property from its stomach. As for compensation, you'll receive 2,000 credits when the job is complete. Not at all. The risks were written into his contract. I am not responsible for his burial or the unpleasantness of his tomb. The man I hired had a transponder on him. When the predator consumed him, it also consumed the device. Rest assured, I'll have all the information forwarded to your ship's tracking systems. Excellent. I will have the coordinates sent to your ship. See you.
The roost is where it's at.
I used to be an actuary. Now look at me.
Hey, are you looking for eggs too? I've only found one so far, but I want to find more before anyone else does. So if you see some, can you tell me? Yeah, it was. Weird, right? Miss Seng over at UC Distribution bought the one I found, and she said she might buy more if I can find them. I could really use the credits. Boo! Did I scare you? Hi, mister.
They'll have our table ready soon.
Did we have to come early? You know they'll be late.
It's a matter of courtesy.
We always wind up waiting forever, though.
There are worse fates than eating appetizers at the Whetstone, love.
Well, I'll try not to fill up on their bread plate. Extra time at the Whetstone would be nice. The food's fantastic.
I really wish everyone valued punctuality.
Welcome to Whetstone. If you're looking for the best cut of meat in the settled systems, look no further. The general term? A sharpening stone for knives. The kind of knives that cut the most delicious meat in the settled systems. This Whetstone, though, is the best restaurant you've ever eaten at. If you like a perfect steak, you're in the right place. You must be joking. I have an exclusive contract with the Trade Authority. It's all shipped in from off-world. And no, I'm not divulging the planet of origin. I guarantee you won't be disappointed.
My wife always panics if we're even a minute late.
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you. Sounds like he's got more work.
Bulk items may require multiple levels of approval and can take up to several weeks for an official response. We apologize for any delay. Welcome to UC Distribution. Something I can do for you? Who, Jordan? That kid's in here every other day with some random thing he found. Trying to get credits. Yeah, I took pity on him. Why? What is it? I'm wondering why you'd come looking for it. Oh, really? Well, you can have it back for what I paid for it, plus a little extra. Let's call it a convenience fee, shall we? I could, but I did pay for it. I'd like to recover my losses. And it's all the way in the back room. I'd have to walk back there, then back out here. You did say this was important after all. Honestly, it's probably worth way more than what we're talking about. Suit yourself. You're always welcome back, if you don't mind a bit of a wait.
I need all of them. I don't mean to be pushy, but I really do need those sensors, and quickly.
Recent scans of the tree have suggested that a significant portion of the interior is liquefied. Obviously, some small percentage of its internal workings is always liquid to allow for the transfer of nutrients and so forth, but this? Well, I've never seen anything like it. If it continues to increase, I'm concerned the entire tree may collapse, and I'm also worried about other secondary effects. It's too soon to speculate. I'd very much like to see the additional data before I say more. If the time comes, I will certainly attempt to alert the appropriate people en masse. If I have more data, though, my concerns might carry some more weight. I appreciate your confidence. The sooner I have all the available data, the sooner I can make an assessment. So you do. Wonderful. I'll just take these, and we'll see what they have to tell us. All right, we'll just upload the data. Give it a moment. And just another moment. It is working, isn't it? Ah, there it is. Relief. Now, let's see. This is... well, it's... oh my. Well, there's good news and bad news. The good news is that my suspicions were correct. There is something wrong with the tree. I will report my findings to Mast immediately with no small amount of satisfaction. The phrase, "I told you so," may even be uttered more than once. Yes, it does feel good to be right, particularly when others have attempted to convince you otherwise. Repeatedly. The bad news, as it were, is that the internal composition of the tree is changing. In this particular case, the tree is now regularly emitting ultra-low frequency sound waves. They're nearly imperceptible now, but they're growing in strength. This is something we've never observed before. Depending on how large these waves grow, consequences for the city could be disastrous. I must consult with my colleagues in Mast at once. Thank you for your assistance. I hope these credits are adequate compensation.
Thank you for your help retrieving the biosensors. These findings are alarming. Let's hope that Mast takes these findings seriously. The data from the biosensors speaks for itself.
Shame about Sam.
The well's no place to raise your niece. I mean, if they pitched in a little, we could buy them a small 2-bedroom, maybe even 3.
Dennis is Dennis. If we give him any money at all, it'll be gone who knows where before you could blink.
A real shame about Sam.
It's
Why
easy
does
to
family
forget
always
that
get
there's
so damn
much suffering in the
complicated?
world.
So after an hour of whining, you're finally out
There's
here.
no one to play
They're
with.
just sitting on the grass. They should be playing.
Do you want to go another 3 rounds with them?
There's slides, like right there.
At least they're outside.
I suppose at least they're getting some natural vitamin D.
I told my parents that there aren't any kids out here playing. I told them.
It's a beautiful day today.
I suppose at least they're getting some natural vitamin D.
Definitely better than the last Interceptor.
But why did they replace the handler? I thought the actress was amazing.
She turned him down. She apparently signed on to do some Shakespeare film. King Lear, I think.
How many damned versions of Shakespeare do we need? I mean, after Kincaid's King Lear, why bother, right?
Huh? You have hidden depths, my friend. Return of the Interceptor is going to sweep the awards this year. Mark my words.
I'm going to watch Return of the Interceptor again tomorrow. It's so good.
You're here because you need something you can connect with, something you could count on. Am I right? Welcome to Centurion Arsenal. It is my absolute pleasure to assist you with any purchases or questions you may have. All sales are final, but that won't matter because you will undoubtedly be pleased with your purchase. You have my word. Well, that's not a simple question, is it? It all depends on who's asking. I have my own personal favorites, but I wouldn't presume to know yours. Tell me, were you to find yourself in the unfortunate position of needing to use a weapon, what suits you best? Something up close and personal? Rapid fire? Is precision a consideration? Ah, yes. Well, then personally, I would point you towards Combatech. Is that a surprise? These are potentially matters of life and death we're talking about here. Please, take a look.
A lot of computer expertise in your file, along with smiley faces. UC security doesn't.
on in. Take a look around. Life in New Atlantis moves pretty fast. You kidding me? Nowhere else like it in the settled systems. First time I came here as a kid, I knew I was gonna come back and make my mark on this city. Nowhere I'd rather be. And now that I've got this place up and running, it's all coming together. Nice and steady, just the way I like it. I've got a good location, plenty of foot traffic, and a ton of people who are in a hurry and need to make a quick stop for the essentials. Things keep going this way, I'm gonna start opening franchises all over the settled systems. Yeah, let's get you settled. Thanks for stopping in. I can always use the business.